Okay, so here we have the AOKZOE here, and today we're just going to talk about this turbo button here. See if it will focus. So you have this turbo button, but it's not just for turbo. What it actually is, you can click this button, and it brings up this menu here. And with this menu, it's similar to the Steam Deck power settings menu, but it's a little bit different. In the AOKZOE, what you can do is you can adjust the TDP, or the performance, the power level, from 4 watts all the way to 28 watts. You can also adjust the GPU frequency from 200 megahertz all the way to 2200 megahertz, and also the fan speed. You can see the fan speed right now is all the way at the bottom, which is 30. Take that up to 100, and you begin to hear the fan here. So now you can hear the fan pretty much blasting, and this gives you a sense of how loud the fan will be. I'm not going to edit the audio in this section just so you can hear it. You can also adjust vibration of the built-in controller vibration. This is helpful as well, the resolution. So you can change the resolution on the fly, just to suit the application or the game that you're playing. If you want to use FSR, you can turn the resolution down there. You can also change these RGB lights here in the front. There's a light here and a light here, and you can change that. You can also set it to just a static color. I like to keep it at blue. Also screen brightness and volume. So yeah, this is just a demonstration of the power settings menu on the AOKZOE. Now it's a little bit different than the Steam Deck, and I'll show you that here. It's a little bit different than the Steam Deck, but it's similar, but it's different enough just to check out the differences here. So on the Steam Deck, in the performance menu here, what's interesting is there's a few different options. We have the performance overlay, which is going to give us our stats on our CPU, our GPU, temps, and all of that, frame rate, and that's very helpful. You don't have that on the AOKZOE. You have to use something like MSI Afterburner and Riva Tuner or something similar. You can even use like the built-in Xbox game bar that gives you frame rate. It gives you GPU, CPU, and RAM usage. Sometimes I do use that one because it's just easy to implement. But what's so powerful about the Steam Deck version is that you have this per user profile, per game profile, and that pretty much allows you to have these settings saved on a per game basis. So if one game needs 40 frames, 40 hertz, you can set that there, it will remember it. If one game it runs at 60 hertz, fine, you can have it running at 60 hertz, 60 frames, and you can change your TDP level. If you're playing like a retro game, indie game that's low power, you bring that down just for that game, and then you just set it and forget it. You don't have to come back every time. You can adjust the GPU clock like the AOKZOE, but then FSR is also powerful. You can change the scaling, put on your FSR, and it's just very helpful to see and to have these settings here in a way that you can't get on Windows. I will say that the AOKZOE menu, being able to have this in Windows is very helpful, because you would need either to go into the settings to adjust the resolution, or you would need a bunch of third-party apps to be able to control the TDP and the GPU frequency and the fan speed, brightness and volume. That's not too serious. Vibration settings, that could be helpful for someone. You would need an app for that, but I would say that you would need about 3 apps to do what this does on Windows, because you can get one app that controls your performance, your GPU, and your fan. It's not going to adjust vibration or resolution, and of course the RGB that's built in, so that's proprietary anyway. And brightness and volume, you can adjust brightness and volume from here. But this is helpful because it does come up like in a game. This will come up, so you don't need to go to this menu here. So yeah, that's just a comparison of these two menus here. I would say that they're both helpful in their own way. The Steam Deck is definitely more, I guess, user-friendly and intuitive because it gives you a little bit more options, and it shows the power of the Steam community. Because in this menu here, one button press away, I can get to my plugins, and that gives me something like the Vibrant Deck plugin to adjust the screen saturation. I can also download the fan control, so Fantastic, that allows you to adjust the fan curve, similar to the fan settings on here. So with the community support, the Steam Deck does have an upper hand because you have a lot of people that are creating things for this, and it's not so many people that are creating, you know, settings and implementing things for this. So that's the beauty of the Steam Deck. That's just a comparison between these menus here. This is very helpful on Windows. I will say that for Windows, you know, PC, this is very helpful to have just for like the TDP and the GPU and the fan. Resolution is also helpful, so you don't have to dig into the menu. But this is helpful. This is, you know, showing the power of the Steam Deck because this is built in, and this is something that the manufacturer had to implement. Because Windows, while it does have the freedom to download whatever you want, it is lacking support when it comes to being a gaming handheld console, if you will. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I think the Steam Deck has the upper hand in this one, but Windows handhelds are getting there, but not quite, just because Windows is Windows.